All right, I'd like to have a word about pin numbering inconsistency on the Data General Nova backplane. Because I've been mapping this out, trying to build a power supply for it, wanting to make sure I get all the pins right. I spent a few hours spinning my wheels because of this inconsistency. So, since nothing about the Data General Nova on this level is on YouTube yet, here it is. I'm putting it here as soon as I recognize it. So, I made some wrong assumptions because they made sense to me. And so we're going to talk about those right now. Let's zoom in a little bit closer here and have a look at pin numbering. I believe this down here is row 1 and all the way up to row 17 up here. Now the numbers look nice and clear here to set what we think is a standard. So let's focus on, for this example, let's focus on slot 17. It's too late at night because I just discovered this, but I wanted to record this video before I called it a night and lost the moment. Anyway, yeah, this is board 17 right there. There's board 17 right there, slot 17. Okay, so let's have a look now over here at the way that these things are numbered. So we see right here, there's a 1, 19, 39, 59, 79, and 99. So it's pretty obvious, if we were to just use this as a numbering standard here, that the odd pins are all on the top row, okay? And by logic, the even pins are on the bottom row of this slot, right? So you've got 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, right? And 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, and so on and so forth. Very, very logical. So you would think that since this pattern is clearly established and consistent throughout all of the slots, they'd do this with all of the pinouts on this backplane. But let me tell you, that is absolutely not the case. So, evidently, all of the 200 pin, let's widen out here a little bit and get to the perspective. Evidently, all of the 200 pin board slots, all 17 of them, they're numbered like that. But all of the other connectors, I think those are wild cards. And I'm not sure why. Now, here was my first clue. It's, the only ones that are numbered that consistently are the top rows here. The rest of these don't have any numbers by them that I could see that gave an indication of the pin numbers. But, all of that's fairly obvious and it lines up with the diagrams. But this was my first clue right here. So let's have a closer look. This is for the secondary console or front panel. The Data General Nova comes with the lower level of switches and lights, but then there's an optional upper level of switches and lights. And on this machine, they've never been wired, as I showed in the previous video. But let's look at the numbering that they have on these pins and just have a look. This was my clue that they had done something different, and that the reason I couldn't get the pin numbers to line up is because I was numbering them wrong. Now, I'm just using this as an example because they marked it. So have a look here. We have, it even spells it out, pin, P-I-N, just in case you're wondering what these numbers mean. It's really obvious, pin 1. But then, what's next to it isn't pin 2, it's pin 27? Oh my gosh. Really? Okay, so look at this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, there's a 5 there. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15. Now, I think this should be, if this is pin 1, it's pretty logical. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, where this is all the odd row, and this is all the even row. Exactly like they did it right here on the horizontal ones. But no. And this gets even better. So let's see here. We're going to go to 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So all the way down here to 25, right? There's 25, 26, and then is this one 27? No, 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 no. This one's 52, which means now we're going to go all the way up to the top. All the way up to the top. This one's 27, and that goes all the way down to 52. All the way down to 52 down here. Okay, all right. Whose idea was that craziness? So that leaves the connector that we do care about, because it's actively connected to, lights and switches on the front panel. This one right here. It says pin 1 right there. Great. So what I still don't know and haven't figured out, is this one next to it pin 3 or is it pin 2? And then, is pin 2 on the back side here? Or is that pin God knows what? I haven't even counted them all, right? Is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then goes down to 20 whatever down here? Sorry about that. Goes down to 20 whatever down here. And then does it go back up to the top on the other side and go back down, or does it reverse itself? Well, it seems that they've numbered pins always here, all different ways. So I'm not even going to touch these, how these pins are numbered right here. And I don't even know that there's any documentation on those yet, but I'm just scratched the surface on this here. So let's go over to what I've spent pretty much the whole day on. And that is this connector right here. Let's see if we can get a good sights on that. There we go. I think we can see it. Okay. This is the lower power supply connector. This is the back side of the card edge connector that connects to the resistor board, which I don't have, which connects to the lower power supply, which powers all the lower boards and all that really important stuff. And my start for this system is only to have all the lower boards. So we don't see the word pin here, but we clearly see, let's zoom in on this right here, where's my, there, see that? That's a 1. So that tells me that's pin 1. Great. So all this time, I'm following the same numbering convention that these pins are using, where you've got the odd pins on the top and the even pins on the bottom, right? So you've got there, that's 1. So that's an odd pin, and I thought that this was 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, which makes this 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Oh no. By the way, this whole solid area right here, this is all plus 5 volts. That's what it's supposed to go to. It connects to all the, 5 volt connectors throughout the rest over here. So, here I am thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh no, that is not the way it is. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Excuse me. 7, 8, 9, 10, and all the way on down. But unlike what we saw over here, where it numbered and it went back up to the top for, the second row. Oh, this one, no. This one, just to keep you confusing. And I figured this out by looking at the schematics and tracing pins and all of that. This one goes down to, let's see here. I'm going to get my numbers out here. This one goes down to, what is it, 47? 51, right? It goes all the way down to 51. Or so I thought. Except it's 26, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this is, so this is 26 times 2 is 52, right? So this pin is 26, and this pin is 27. So instead of this pin being 26 and then going up here for 27, oh no, we can't at least do that consistently if we're gonna do sequentials on one side. Now we have to be like, this is 26, and then this is 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. The way I figured that out is the last 5 pins in the sequence are 5 volts, and the first 5 pins in the sequence are 5 volts on one of the schematics that I have on my page for, building a power supply from scratch. So I just wanted to point out that these numbers are inconsistent and they absolutely should not be trusted. So from now on, I'm going to be testing, making certain that I, consider the fact that there's not 1, not 2, but 3 different ways that they can be numbering pins on this backplane, because we have examples of now 3 different ways, that count them, 3 different ways that they're numbering these things. They're either all odd pins on one side and even pins on the other side like they are here, or they're sequential on one side where they jump over to the other side and go sequential the other direction, or they're sequential, sorry about that, they're sequential on one side, and then instead of jumping to the other side and going sequential the other way, they sequential on one side and then jump to the top and then go sequential down the same direction. Go figure. How did they come up with that? For such a well-designed machine that was just so elegantly designed, I'd have to say that was a fail when it came to consistently numbering pins on the backplane. It's like a bunch of different people did it, and they didn't compare notes, and yet somehow they came out with this evidently well-designed backplane that Data General and all of the people that copied them, like DCC, Digital Computer Controls, and the like, they just used the same exact thing. Because I've got a hodgepodge of Data General, Nova, and DCC schematics. And now that I've figured out this numbering scheme and the lack of consistency thereof, now I can realize that, they're all pretty much the same. And they're inconsistently the same. So, gosh, when Digital Computer Controls copied this backplane, evidently they copied all of the inconsistent numbering schemes. They just did it verbatim. Okay, so now we know. Now we know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 27, 28. All the way to 52. Oh my gosh. All right, that's enough. I'm going to bed. Thanks for watching.